Okay, take it away, Tara.
Okay, so I'm excited and a little nervous because what I'm going to share tonight, I haven't really talked about a little bit here and there on my page, but I want to share with you now. Let's backtrack in my story a little bit. How I got into Beachbody. A lot of you guys know my story if you've seen my YouTube video, or sometimes I share in like the trainings and stuff. But I started when I was teaching, and it was 3 years ago. I wanted to help other women feel good, and I wanted to use Beachbody as a platform. I didn't really know what was involved. All I knew is that I really wanted to help people, and that was like my motivation, really, until I saw the big picture and I dove into like success stories and started like watching them all the time. I didn't really realize what this could do for us. We were struggling in a lot of debt. My husband was a teacher as well, and I took time off to have my kids and then went back. So I never worked a solid year, like in 5 years, because I had my kids back to back. So we were struggling, and he was looking for another job, and we came across Beachbody. I didn't want something extra. I didn't have time for something extra, but I just felt like something was drawing me towards it. And, I jumped in, and I was saying today, there wasn't a lot of training out there. There were like new coach training and stuff like that, but it was very basic. And I found that the best way to learn was to just do and to fail forward. So that's what I did. I watched videos of how to form and stuff like that on YouTube. But like where I struggled, that's where my focus was. So I struggled on presenting the business big time. So that's what I focused on watching videos of. And then I just got to, I was in a couple months, and I was just moving along, hitting Success Club and really loving this. And so I was like, wow, this couldn't really happen if I really put my head down and work and do those things that no one else is doing, like getting up really early and going to bed late and just suffering suffering without that sleep, right? For a short period of time, I could really like maybe be home. So that started coming into my mind, and I was like, wow, it can really happen. And I started pushing a little bit more and more and more. Now, when I say pushing, I'm not saying I was working all day long and taking time away from my kids. I'm saying I just sacrificed. I sacrificed sleep. I sacrificed nights out. I sacrificed TV. I didn't even watch any, and honestly, you do that and you make time for the business and you do what matters, like the power hour, then you are going to be successful. So I said, okay, what do I have to lose? Fast forward, I ended up leaving my teaching job that year, that ended that year. So the first year I was a coach. And it just like, I knew that I can do this, and it really took off. And, the success that I've had is only because I was consistent and I worked hard. That's it. It wasn't because I knew something someone else didn't. It wasn't because I had this secret thing, It wasn't because I was really that great on social media, because I'm not. I just am myself, and I'm branding who I am instead of branding someone else. Instead of branding Beachbody. So I think if we are real and showcase more of who we are on our social media pages and just sharing that behind the scenes with people and sharing our stories, that you can really do well in this business. So fast forward, I've been hitting Success Club ever since, because for me, it is a no matter what. And I think for you, it should be as well. It's our job. Like if this is a career for you, or even something that you want to be a career, it is our job. Just like showing up to work and having to, like for teaching, if I decided, I'm not going to teach this class today, what would happen? Like, I would be reprimanded. I would be fired if it continued, So it's the same thing. If I decided not to correct papers, I would get parents to call, that would call me, like, what's going on? There's no grades plugged in, right? So this is part of our job. And the thing is about Success Club is that that's just measuring how many lives we're changing, how many relationships we're building, and how we're meeting those people's needs. That's a measurement of that. So, that's why I was like, it has to be a no matter what. And there have been months where I have just barely hit it, right? And there have been months that I blew it out of the water. So it's like this, but it has to be in your brain starting the month off. I'm going to hit this goal no matter what. Just like anything else, like your health and fitness, like you really need these goals, you need to really push to, So fast forward this August, was it August? Yes. I was at Summit, walking on stage for 15 Star Diamond, which sounds really cool and stuff. And it is, but I was just really proud to represent my team up there. I was very proud of my team. I was very proud of the moment. It was a big thing. There weren't many of us up there. It was really cool, right? And I was just in a great place. And when I walked off that stage, there was a lot of commotion between Micah reaching out to me, like saying, hey, TJ's trying to get you on the phone, and that was my husband. And then my other friend came running down from the bleachers and said, your husband's trying to reach you. So I'm like, what the heck's going on, right? And I got a call from my mom in the stadium that my dad died suddenly it was a freak accident. It was a boating accident. And I was done, destroyed. At that moment, I don't even know how I made it home. Never mind back to the hotel. But I remember thinking at that time, I don't want to do this anymore. Am I going to always associate an event with my dad's death? Like, how am I going to function? How am I going to do this? And I just felt like I just want to, you just want to crawl under, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to function. I came home. I took a week off from the business, which I had never have done in 3 years. And, it was like the worst thing ever. Every morning I woke up thinking, is this real? Is this real life? Like, is this really happening? And I could have really gone into a deep hole, but I knew the only thing that I knew that would get me out of this was my routine, getting back into my life, because my dad was very big on routine and like he likes his routine, right? I knew, like, what would he want from me? He would want me to keep going. I knew that if I just took one step at a time, I can get back or be even better, be more focused on people's lives and people's hearts and changing their lives, because I wanted to keep his legacy going. He was a man that made everyone feel like his good friend, whether he met you for a minute or he knew you forever. And that's what I wanted to do. So I said, I have to move. So after a week, I said, I'm going to get up really early and start that. And, get into prayer and really focus on where God wants me and reading personal development and starting my journey again. So I started over, and I said it was about halfway through the month. And I said, okay, I was starting back on my routine that week. It was the second week of the month. And I started posting more about my journey and how I felt. It was very, like, if you look at my page, it was very solemn. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even know how to be happy. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to grieve. I don't know what, but I said, I need to share this with social media because I mean, other people have been through this. Other people can relate. And I've gotten so many people reaching out to me and it's been amazing. So that's why sharing your story and your journey, no matter where you are and how it is, so important. But that following week, I said, okay, I have to put myself out there and step this up because I'm at -1 Success Club points. And I have 2 weeks left. And I don't know if I could even, like, how am I supposed to talk about health and fitness when this has happened to me? But I knew that if you look at the big picture in your health and fitness journey, it incorporates so many things like personal development, like staying on track and getting that mind right and all of these things that is going to help you through these really, really, really tough times. And when you go through the valleys, when you go through a job loss, when you go through a death in your family, when you go through a divorce or whatever it is, these actions that we do as coaches are going to get you through those things. Your community of people are going to get you through this. I can't even tell you the amount of people, the coaches, challengers that reached out to me, that sent me things, that lifted me up, you know? So that's the thing. That's why our community and that's why Beachbody is so important. It really is. So I had to dig deep and I'm going to just share with you a couple things that I did to hit Success Club. But what I just said, I want you guys to really think about is that whole, what this Beachbody thing encompasses. It encompasses the whole body, mind, body, soul. It's the whole thing. If you're missing a piece, it's not going to all work together. So when I dug into that personal development and said, okay, I have to stop this binge eating nonsense. And I was drinking too much wine and it was just a hot mess, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to put this out there, even though I've never said something like this before. And I did. I put it out there. This is what I'm struggling with, and I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to do 21-day fix and really rock it, you know? And when you share that you're going to do this and really, hey, keep me to it, guys. I need this, right? I'm going through this. I need this. Let's do it together. I had people just, yes, you're going to do this. But I didn't have people like reaching out to me and be like, oh, I want to join you. I want to get a challenge pack. I want to join your challenge group. I didn't have that. And I was like, crap. So I said, I got to get to work. So what I did was I started reading again, the 10X rule, which if you haven't read that, it totally like puts you into another realm. The first time I read it at the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't like this guy. He's freaking me out. Because he's all like, God, you know, he's really very intense. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to be this intense. Yeah. But there are seasons in your business where that is very important. And if you're growing and you have goals, then you need to be pushing. You need to be intense. You need to be intense in the actions that you need to do to get to your goal. So I said, okay, what can I do to hit Success Club? I'm going to post. I'm going to post about my journey. So if you're in a health and fitness, and guys, especially this month and continue into next month, but if you're in a program, make sure you're posting about it. Make sure you're posting what you're seeing. You know what is so crucial, and I totally disregarded it for a really long time, is Micah always used to say, always wakes up early and works out. And I was like, that's crap. Like, I used to wake up really early when I worked and work the business, but I wouldn't work out. I would work out later.
Right.
But I'm telling you, like, I started to do that during this health bet, and it's helped me so much in my attitude. And now I have something to post in the morning. When people see my posts about me working out, they're reaching out to me. They're talking about it. They're commenting underneath. They're seeing that I'm stepping up, right? So I think showcasing that is really important. If you can get it done in the morning, I recommend doing it. Even if you don't work, It's really important to get it done in the morning because you can show that. People are like, wow, she's no joke. Like, she's really doing this. They're taking you seriously. So sharing what you're doing, get in a program and make sure you're sharing that, but also behind the scenes. So what I did during this time was I got my list of 100 people. And I said, I'm going to reach out to all of these people in the next week, 5 days. And I set myself goals. Like, so say, for example, I'll give you an example. Say you have, 4 days left of the month. So I would say, okay, by Thursday night, midnight, I'm going to have 4 Success Club points. And I really honestly worked my butt off for those 4 points. So I would go through my list, reach out to them, and I would say, hey, I would start the conversation. And people were like, oh my gosh, first of all, they were like, why are you like reaching out to me when something like that happened? And I said, honestly, I have to get back into it. But if you guys just focus on reaching out to people, and I do hey girl messages because that's how I talk. So I just reach out and say, hey girl, I haven't talked to you in a couple months, or I haven't talked to you in whatever. How are things? How are things with the kids? Last time we talked, you had this. How's that going? I'm just starting the conversation again. And even though there's only 4 days left, you could still start conversations. So I would take the list, start conversations with people. I also took that list and I said, okay, the people that I know were part of a challenge group before, or the people that I know that really expressed interest before, I actually messaged them and just asked them like how they're doing. And I said, hey, last time we talked, you said you wanted to lose 10 pounds. That was last year. How's that go? Well, I don't say how's that going. Say, have you found something that worked for you? Or are you still on your health and fitness journey? Don't say, how's that going for you? So, you want to ask them in a nicer way, like, are you still on your health and fitness journey? And I mentioned in that conversation that I gained 10 pounds in the past month, and I'm really looking to get myself back on track. Would you like to join me? Something like that. When you're relating to where they were, it's really important because they're going to be like, okay, wait a minute, she's not this big health and fitness person, or she's still on her journey too, so maybe she can really relate and help me. So I would reach out to people that have expressed interest and follow up with them with something like that. So make sure that you are, for example, I look at all the top coaches. If you follow them on Snapchat, if you follow them on anything, you will see that they're always posting about their workouts. They're always being a product of the product. They're always posting about their mindset, about their PD. They're getting followers because they are products of the product. And they're being themselves, sharing it. So this is something that has to be no matter what. And when you do make it a no matter what, your people, like come October, come November, come December, those people are going to be joining you. When you are consistent in posting, when you're consistent in showcasing who you are and your journey, they're going to be like, holy crap, look at what she's doing. If she can work on herself and help herself, she can help me. Talking to a lot of people. If you haven't hit your goals yet, I'm telling you right now, I would recommend that you maybe talk to your spouse, whoever you live with, whoever you're going to take time away from, and say, listen, I have a big goal to hit, and I know I can do this. Because when you do it, when you do hit Success Club, how do you feel? You feel confident. You feel like you got this. You feel like you are successful. You feel like, holy crap, I'm going to help 3 people next month feel amazing. And this can, in fact, change their life and their family's life. So that feeling you want to have, right? So you say, okay, I'm going to, in the next 3 days, I'm going to focus. I remember listening to a call with Trina Gray, and she said she didn't hit Success Club, and it was like Halloween in October 2 years ago, and she was like sending her kids out. She's like, I'm gonna stay home and do the candy thing here, and she was like on the phone talking to people. She's like, whatever it takes. And that's the mentality we have to have. Not whatever it takes, I'm gonna be sneaky and no, it's whatever it takes. I'm going to make it happen because I know what this can bring to people. I know what my products, I know what this lifestyle, I know what this community can do for someone. I had something in my head, but I totally forgot it. So up your game from talking to 5 people a day to talking to maybe 20. Like that's it. It's all in the numbers, and it's all the amount of people you're talking to. So if you haven't hit it, don't bank on people saying they're going to buy. Don't bank on people saying they're going to join this month, because so many times things get in the way. And then you're sitting at like 4 or 2 or whatever, and you're like, oh. So I would definitely those are extra people if they sign up, those ones that said they were going to. And I think a lot of what helped me get to Success Club 36 in 2 weeks was my excitement for the next group, what it was going to involve. I shared with the people I was talking to that I was going to help them with meal planning and grocery shopping. Like, I was like, whatever they need, I'm going to do. Like sometimes it's like you just have to do it. You're like, if you need me to help you with your grocery list, I will. If you need me to sit down with you and have a Zoom call, I will. Like, you need to make them feel like they are going to succeed no matter what with your help. When you make them feel that way, they're like, sign me up. Even if it was $250, they say, sign me up, because they know they can succeed. So it doesn't matter on the price, right? They know they can succeed and they can reach their goals. They're going to pay for it. So I knew I had to up the ante and say, okay, I'm going to share my recipes. I'm going to share what I'm having for dinner. I'm going to help walk them through, get them on the phone. I actually walked them, a couple of them, I got them on the phone to talk to them about the challenge group. And I never do that. I never do phone calls, but I knew that they were kind of iffy and I needed to kind of talk them through it. I always, always, always use voice messenger to relay my excitement. When I was a newer coach, I used a lot of just word like scripts or examples, and I would obviously spend time doing it and sharing what I thought and what could help them, but it was written. And I really think that you miss a big part of it when you do that, because they're not seeing your excitement. They're not seeing how much you care about them. They're not seeing the value a lot of times behind what we have to offer in the community. And when you don't hear someone's voice, it's very different. It's very different from them getting just a written write-up of what is involved. So if you don't want to do voice messenger, you could always create a video. I did create a video about my group last month because I wanted something to send to people that wanted more information. So after we talked about goals, I would send them a video. So guys, I really, 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 really think that everyone on this call, if you haven't hit Success Club yet, you can. I think if we get it into our mind as this is part of our business, it's not something negative at all. It's something so super positive. It is helping people. And when we are doing it, guess what? We are setting the bar for our coaches. When we are hitting Success Club and we have a coach or 2 coaches that have joined us, or 5 coaches or 10 or whatever, and they know that we are doing it, walk them through the way you're doing it, and they are going to start doing it too. If we create that sense of it's just a confidence booster when people are hitting Success Club. And if you create that on your team, then it's it's going to trickle down. So we have to definitely do that for ourselves. And in order to do that, I'm going to just put this out there for next month, but if you're not there yet, you bust your butt for the next 4 days and do what you need to do to make it happen. Now, you can offer just like, sometimes I'll do like, for the next group, I'm going to do like a makeover. So like I put that out there, like whoever is the most consistent and have seen some good results. It doesn't even have to be the one with the most weight loss, but the most consistent, the one that participates the most, we're going to have a point system, is going to get a makeover. So when I talk to people about our group, I'm telling them that, and they're like, oh, really? So what a makeover is going to consist of is all of us coaches chipping in for a gift card to their favorite store and getting their hair done at their hair salon. So how cool is that? You know, you could offer cool things like that, especially like if you're struggling at the end of the month to make it happen, but also for next month. We are so used to, as human beings, to procrastinate and to wait. And I'm reading a really good book called The 12-Week Year, I think it is, 12-Week Year, where we set these big goals for the whole year, right? And then we don't ever do anything with them until like November. Because we think in our heads, oh, we have the whole year. So even Success Club, we think, oh, it's always sitting on our shoulders, but we're like, oh, we have the whole month. We still have a couple weeks. Oh, we're at Success Club 3. Oh, we'll get it. We'll get it. And we always keep pushing it off. Well, I want to challenge you guys to not only hit Success Club this month, but rev it up. And I tell my coaches this all the time, let's plow through and freaking hit Success Club 5 days in, because you're going to be running on momentum from now until the end of the month, right? So you might as well keep it going for another week, hit your Success Club goals, help your coaches hit theirs, right? And then move on. And anything after that is extra, right? So you're there at your goal, you're not even halfway through the month, you're feeling flippin' awesome, and more people are joining you because you're expressing and showing that confidence now on your page. When you hit your goals, when you're reading personal development, you're more confident in your conversations, you're more confident on your page, you're posting better, your conversations are better, you're like, I got this, right? It all goes together, like I said. So I want to challenge you guys to do it, to step up and see what you can do in the next 4 days and hitting Success Club in the first week of the next month. It will make a big, big difference in your business. It really will. And it is all like seriously who you're talking to and how many people. So we can change that. We can't determine who's going to say yes, but we can determine how many people we talk to. That's in our control. So I think that's all I got. But I mean, if you guys want to, I don't know if we're going to do questions, but if you want to ask questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of make a couple points. I took some notes. One thing that I love is that you shared kind of that you're very vulnerable and you shared what you're struggling with when you were going through it, not after the fact. Like, in fact, that's one of my regrets. Last year, I went through a really, really hard struggle, and I didn't talk about it until after the fact. And I regret that. I regret not being, and it was hard because I couldn't share about it because for certain reasons. But I could have been just saying, hey, I'm going through something. Hey, things are kind of hard for me right now. I'm dealing with some things. And you don't have to share all because there are going to be struggles that you can't be public about. But I do regret not being a little more vulnerable about that, because some of the people that, knew, I think they didn't realize how hard it was for me because I didn't ever really talk about it because it was so hard for me. So I think it was really amazing that you shared about it. Like, I was like so impressed that you were posting, a week after all that happened. And that was like so inspiring, number one.
I think it's healing for you too. Like, it's really, guys, it's really hard. Like, who wants to talk about something like that? No one. And it's not part of the way we are as humans, like to share stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's so, it just helps you heal. Not that you're going to be healed from this, but it helps you, you're comforted by other people sharing their experience too. You know what I'm saying? That you're in this together.
Yeah, and it's almost liberating. Like I loved, we talked about this before with our team about Sean T's talk about the glass house, and being open and vulnerable about whatever you're struggling with, whether it's big or whether it's small,
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like it's just liberating to be like, I'm just going to be real with you guys right now, and it's so refreshing for other people too, as social media can get so fake, And then a couple of the things I wanted to touch on was the waking up early. I've been kind of following in Micah's lead too. Like I loved that she would wake up early and work out with JD, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start doing this with Matt because he leaves for work at like 8:30. So I was like, we have to wake up and work out at 6. And it's been so cool, you guys. I love it. Like it's been awesome for our marriage to have that time without kids because they're all still asleep. And it's just been cool because once you're done, you're like, boom, I am done. Now I can do all this other crap first. And I was the same way. I would wake up early and I would work. But it's been so much better to like, especially as your team grows, to take care of you first and like your goals and your, vital behaviors. And then you can take care of your team and your, get to your messages and all that. What else? Oh, and I loved how you said, sharing whatever program you're in, because like, I think, again, just being like, hey, I'm doing, for me, I'm doing PIO right now, or it pushes you to like continue with it, number one, and share like to be able to have, it's almost like, do it for the after picture. Like I'm like, crap, I want to share an after picture. Yeah. So I want it like helps you with your own accountability. Mm-hmm. And people can see that journey. I've watched Tara as she posts. I saw you posting about like 3-day refresh, or no, it was the ultimate reset, right? Yeah. When she was doing that, it was cool to watch that. And then her after picture was killer, and just stuff like that. It was like, and I even messaged her. I'm like, what the crap did you do? That's the kind of thing you want to share your journey. And then like that after picture, and people are going to be like, all right, I'm in, And then I loved how you said like creating your own deadlines. And I've talked about this to our team before, like, if you want to hit Success Club, you should be selling at least 1 challenge pack a week. Like, so if it's Sunday and you haven't sold a challenge pack, then you got to get on it, because that's at least Success Club 8, right?
Yep.
So at least having that in your head, like, crap, it's Sunday, or if you only work, if you don't work weekends, it's Friday and I haven't hit Success Club, then I got to like bust some booty and make it happen by the end of the day. And that's why, like, the calendar, you guys, is so important. Like, the reason that I've made this calendar and I've done it strategically is because we have our, it's in a specific order for a reason, because we've got we've got a boot camp going every 2 weeks, so that you can hit Success Club by the middle of the month, and you'll have a place to put your clients mid-month. So we always have that challenge group there. And I see so many people panicking at the end of the month, and I'm like, why are you procrastinating? You should have hit it like a long time ago, or at least gotten a couple points mid-month so that you only have a couple more points to hit the end of the month. So that's why you got to utilize the calendar so that you are hitting that one, you are like helping one person with a challenge pack per week. And, we've got our free group, so that you are building relationships, adding value. You can talk to them afterwards about the boot camp that happens the week after. So using the calendar, you guys, this is so important. I talk about it all the time, but I can't emphasize it enough. So I'm going to open it up for questions, because I'm sure everyone has some questions for you, Tara. So you guys, let's see. Oh, Jessica said, hey, I think it's awfully special to share such a heart-wrenching season in your life. We all see the highlight reels on Facebook. So the real stuff can be so touching, motivating, and cut through the junk. Amen to that. And that's why I think it's so important to share it while you're going through it, and not wait.
So true. It really is.
Any other questions, you guys? We have a 15-star elite diamond coach right here on our call. This is a rare gem.
So weird.
I know. It's so amazing. So anyone else have questions?
Yeah. I do.
Okay.
So when you said that you do your like, hey girl message, are you saying in that whole little blurb, like, hey, how's it going? How's the kids? Blah, blah, blah. Last time we talked, you wanted to lose 10 pounds. Or are you saying, hey, how's it going? How's the kids? Having like a conversation and then sneaking in the next part?
Well, it depends. So if it's someone that I'm reconnecting with that never expressed interest in a challenge group or anything, I am just going to say, hey girl, how you doing? It's been a long time. How are the kids? Something like that. Or how is so-and-so? Last time we talked, she was in ballet. How was that? Whatever. And it's just starting a conversation back like that. I'm not saying anything about a group. But if it's someone that I'm following up with that has expressed interest, I'm doing another group in October, I'm going to say, hey girl, it's been whatever. Last time we talked was last year. I can't believe it's been that long. How are you doing? Last time we talked, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it has to be a focus, like a follow-up type of thing. I don't like to cold invite if I don't know that they're interested or hasn't ever been interested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's important to have your list, whether it's like on a notebook or in a document or whatever, digital document of people that you can follow up with. And it's also good to know what their goals were. Like, hey girl, you said you wanted to lose 10 pounds, I think it's really smart to kind of mention their goal and just be like, are you still looking to get in shape, or have you found something that works for you, or something like that?
Yeah.
So many times I have people that message me that I'll look, I'll kind of scroll up and be like, oh, I talked to her like a year ago, so it's typically the people that you've talked to in the past that come back and they're like, okay, fine.
And they're like, I'm still in the same spot. Like,
yes.
No, I'm sorry. It's
9
true.
times out of 10.
Yeah.
Yep, seriously. So that's why following up is huge, and that's why it's important to have a list of people to follow up with, like, constantly, because when you are in a crunch at the end of the month, you can be like, all right, follow up with all these people. And I know I mentioned this before. I have people that, and not for Beachbody, but I've had people with other businesses where if they follow up a lot, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'm like, obviously she wants my business. So I think that's why following up, the fortune is in the follow-up, people.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Any other questions?
I've got a question.
Okay.
So my question is, I'm trying to do my own challenge groups with my own team. My team's pretty small right now, but I'm trying to get that started and to teach my coaches how to run challenge groups. And we're only doing one a month. And I was wondering, do you suggest doing 2 a month? Or if you only do one a month, how do you sell those challenge packs when you're like, okay, I sold you a challenge pack, but you're going to have to wait 3 weeks till it starts? That's my problem. I find I have Success Club 0 for almost the whole month until I have the challenge group. And sometimes my challenge group is the beginning of the month. Sometimes it's the end. And then I hit Success Club 10 in 3 days, because I just sold a ton in that weekend right before the challenge group. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
In the beginning, I would do 2. So what you can do, and I don't, you don't have to do 2. You can do 1. There's so many different ways of doing challenge groups. You can, the way I do it is I have 1, okay? And and it happens a lot that someone buys a challenge pack mid-month, because mine are always the beginning of the month. So if it's, October 2nd and they buy their challenge pack mid-month, I'll be like, hey, if you want to jump into the challenge group we have going on, feel free. And a lot of times I keep those open for 60 days because some of the programs nowadays are 60. And then they just hop in and I tag them in I tag them in the post where it's the getting started, open your challenge pack type of post. So there's so many ways of doing it. Let me just tell you another cool thing that one of my girls does. She has a challenge group quick start, and it's a group with all frozen posts. And it's like 5 posts, and it's like how to get started, like open up your challenge pack, personal development she talks about because it's important for your journey. Then she talks about like time management, how to fit your workouts in, what to expect in a challenge group, and like examples of meal plans, right? So when her people, and she has an ongoing group, like every season she opens up a new group, so like 4 times a year. And then she puts anyone who buys a challenge pack goes into this group, reads through the stuff. When they're ready, they go into the regular challenge group. So they're already prepped and ready for it. It's a good idea. Yeah. I haven't done it. But yeah, it is a good idea. So there's so many different ways, but I really think it's so important to always be inviting.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That totally answered my question.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have another question. Okay, so when you said that you create a video, like, or for last month you created a video.
And I do most of the time, yeah.
Okay, so, okay, 2 questions. 1, what do you say in the video? And 2, do you do ever like a live video? And I mean, I'm on your page all the time, but I don't remember if you've done like a live video invite to here's this challenge group we're excited about.
So I did for the health bet, I did a live video, and that was awesome. Like people they really were like, what is this all about after I did it? So I did one, and I'm going to do more of that because I think it's so, like, Facebook Live is freaking awesome. So I did so the video that I do, it just explains what a group is. So I introduce myself, and I keep it short, like 3 minutes. I say, hey, I'm so excited that you're thinking of joining us. And I'm talking to the person in the video like I'm talking to one person. It's not like, I used to be like, hey guys, I'm so, no, I'm talking to you. So they feel like I'm talking to them, right? I learned that, I think, from Shalene. Yeah. So I just say, I'm really excited about our group. It's called blah, blah, blah. You could keep it generic too and use it all year and just say, in this group, we're going to focus on mindset. I really want you to, and I just say why that's important. Like in order to keep up your healthy habits, you have to have the right mindset or you're going to go backwards, right? So I say, we're going to use a personal development book. I will share with you what that is when we get into our group. Then I say, you are going to be getting a program. There's all different types. What I would recommend is us talking about what your needs are before we jump into a program. And you will be getting Shakeology, and then I just give a really brief description of it, but I also tell them how it's helped me. And then I say, you are going to be part of this group. We are going to have fun. We're going to do mini challenges, and I hype it up. And then I say, I'm so excited to get you started. And that's it. And then after in the conversation, when we're having a conversation about their goals and stuff, I say, I'd love to give you more information. Let me shoot you over a video, and then we could chat after. And then after they watch the video, I say to them, can you watch and I learned this from GoPro. It's a great book, but very network marketing-y. But he does give you good tools. Like I always say, when can you watch it? And if they say today or tomorrow, I say, great, I'm going to check back in with you on Friday. So I always give them a time that I'm going to check back in because it gives them an appointment. And they know that I'm going to be checking back in instead of saying, well, let me know when you watch it because, a lot of times they're not going to let you know. They're not going to watch it, or they do and they don't respond. So, yeah.
So wait, in that video,
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to visualize what it looks like. Is this when you're like messaging, when they're like, yeah, I'm interested in your challenge group? Do you send them the video, or you said you
talk about their goals first? So I always say, like, what interests you in my post? What caught your eye? What are you looking to do in the next 30 days? Or what do you struggle with most? I'm asking a couple questions first. And then after we get into what their goals are. Like they'll say, oh, I struggle with nutrition. I struggle with whatever. And I say, oh my gosh, I was the same way. I relate to them. And then as we get going in that conversation, I'll say, you know, let me send you more information about our group so you can kind of get a feel of what it's all about. So now they kind of know me a little bit. We're talking about their goals. We're getting a little personal. And now they're getting a video from me directed to them, right? So they're now getting excited. And then after the video, we'll pick out a program and go from there. And that's it. Boom.
Nice. How do you send it to them? Is it a YouTube video?
Yeah, it's just a link.
Because you can't upload long videos to Messenger.
It's just a link.
Okay.
You could do videos in Messenger now or something.
Yeah, they have to be like 15 seconds. Oh. Or is it the new feature?
It's a new feature. It's something weird. I don't know what it is.
Huh. That's cool.
But I did videos from when I was a new coach, and they really helped me because I honestly couldn't like word. I like mumble, like jumble my words just like there. So I really felt like I couldn't get across like everything I wanted to. And I was kind of like, when I was typing it, it was very dry, and it was, so I said, let me do a video. And I did it over and over and over because it was really bad in the beginning. And I'm like, this is perfect. Okay, I'll use this. And for a while, they were not that great, but better than me just writing it up.
Yeah, and I liked what you said about voice memos. And one thing that I do is, because I don't want to forget details, so I will pull up the script, because we have like a script that I recommend using, and I'll sit there and read it, but like in my like casual, you know, girlfriend talk, you know, and that's been really helpful for me, because then I was able to like memorize all the details, and so that if I was talking to someone just in person, I can be like, well, blah blah blah, I like have the whole thing memorized now because I was doing so many voice memos, reading the script, you know. So that's an idea for those of you that are like, well, I don't know what to say, you know, you can literally read the script, but just do it with your voice memo.
Yes, yes.
I like the idea of a video too. That's smart.
Yeah, that is it. You know, changing it up. It's all failing forward, guys. You try different things, see what works.
Right. Okay, we have time for maybe one more question. Who's it gonna be? Who's the lucky girl?
Is it bad that I'm like intimidated to say anything?
No, don't be ever. Don't ever be.
Tara's like the nicest human ever.
I just don't even know what to say. Like, I'm one of those people who has struggled through this month, and it's not because I waited to the last minute. It's just been a lot of resistance this month. And I mean, we went on vacation, but yeah, I was still working while I was on vacation. I was on the team call while I was on vacation. So it was not from a lack of trying, but I messaged Kelly day before yesterday, and I was like, look, I need ideas. Like, everybody is saying no, and I'm not even getting middle ground this month. It's either flat ignoring or flat no. So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I would ask you right now, because I feel like I'm doing the vitals. So it's like, what's next?
I would come up with a list of 100 people to reach out to the next 3 days. And
I started with that today. I didn't actually write them down, but I've got a separate window open with the friends list, and I'm just going down it. Just going down it. So yeah. That's what I've resorted to.
I mean, that's what it is at this point. It is, guys. It's the numbers. It's going through old people that were interested a long time ago, and now, or if you're a new coach, it's just sharing. If you're a new coach, and all you need, like, I would just share with your friends and family and people that trust you, and say, listen, I'm doing this awesome program. I'm running this group. Maybe it's your first group as by yourself or with a couple other people. Just say, I would love your support. I would love for you to join me. We can do this together. like doing it that way, especially as a new coach for people that you know, and seeing who would be with you and support you. You know, I reached out to my cousin and a lot of other people that didn't join me, but my cousin did and my best friend in the beginning. So like I would definitely do that at this point as well.
Yeah, and you guys, I just posted Ashley Smith's Power Hour tracker, which is like beautiful, number one. And then it has so many awesome, like, anyway, but there is a thing right on here, Megan, that says like make quality connections. It has 60 people, you know, a list. You can make like a list of 60 people to connect with. So you guys print this off and use it. This is great for new coaches and for us veteran coaches.
Yes, I agree. I love it.
Okay, and one more question. Jody was like, I have one more. Okay, Jody, what's your question?
Okay, I'm the worst. I actually could probably keep asking questions.
Like, wait, here, Tara.
All right, wait, let me read. I lost it. Hold on. I have it, but let me think about how I want to word it here. So, all right. I had a different question, and then when Megan started talking, now I have another question. Okay, so when you're, because I had a month that was a lot of resistance too, right? And just like, you know, the really weird, like, replies and circumstances, or like they didn't even read what you wrote. And I do a lot of voice memos too, and I'm still like, how did you still not? And anyway, so when you come across people that are like, honestly, like the same thing over and over again, like, trying to give you an example. Like I have one girl who has, you know, been a challenger. She's a challenger again this month. Now she's actually like this time contemplating doing discount coaching. And so like, she's talked about, you know, obviously I've tried to get her to like actually coach, but she's still not quite there yet. And so her thing is like, oh, I, you know, can't decide if I want to just sign up as a coach because she's bought challenge packs before, or sign up and sign up with a challenge pack. And I mean, I've given her like an incentive, like a cashback incentive, because it's the end of the month. And so $10 off, it's basically costing you nothing. And then still having like the, oh, well, I'm not sure. Let me think about it, you know, and then having to keep going back to them again and again. Like,
she's a life sucker.
Yes. And I'm like, how do you deal with the life suckers? Like, do you like do you just get more firm with them, or do you just keep like, okay, I'll message you again in a couple days and explain the exact same thing all over again? Or like when I don't know, is there like some magic way to be like, dude, just do this and this is the best way and I'm not going to give you any more options? Like, I don't know.
I think, you know, a lot of times there's been people that I've done that same thing, and I'm just like, girl, you're doing this, just sign up. And you know what? If they don't, it's like, all right, well, guess what? Then you tell me when you're ready, because you know, you don't want like a person like that. You probably be really wishy-washy as a coach, and she might want to, you know, and then she'll be even more sucking the life out of you then, you know? So that's the thing. It's like, I would just kind of ask her, you know, say, okay, let's do this. If she doesn't do it by this week, then just say, okay, listen, I understand you don't know if you want to do it. You're back and forth. Why don't you let me know? I will be there for you any way I can, but let me know when you're ready.
And then do you just not follow up with those people forever?
I would give it a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
But the thing I like what you said about like again, a lot of the stuff that we do to Hit Success Club is behind the scenes. It's just following up, which is kind of nice because you don't have to be obnoxious on social media or doing all these, you know, posts. It's just really like going back to the people, like you said, that you've talked to in the past and seeing if they're ready now. I think timing is just huge. It's when they're ready, you know?
And I would definitely do a live video from now until, I would do one tomorrow.
That's a good idea. Especially about the beauty boot camp. I mean, there's like that we're doing, like you guys can talk about, you can offer the Sephora gift card. You can do a makeup video or whatever. Like there's so many fun things you could.
Yes. That's so cool.
With that. So, All right. Well, Tara, this was amazing. We loved having you. It was so inspiring. And I think you gave us a lot of ideas and a lot of hope. And we're just really grateful that you were able to share this with us. And so thanks, everyone, for joining us, and have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Diamonds, join us for our diamond meeting afterwards.